Okay, so that's set up. Little out of focus, but that's right. And I think he said this is, if worse comes to worse, this will have to do. All right, so this is where, okay. And it's not, and it's just turning to be 6. Okay. So we're even on time.
John gonna set us a little kitty shop.
Great, great. All right. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My apologies for being a couple of minutes late, but let's turn in our red books to page 5 for Shalom Aleichem. Greet the Sabbath bride. Bottom of the page. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharet Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Amalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Boachem L'Shalom Malachei Ashalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Amalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Nideh Shalom Malachei Ashalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Amalachim Kadosh Baruch Hu Seidechem L'Shalom Malachei Ashalom Malachei Elyon Mi Melech Malchei Amalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And there's another poem on page 10, top of the page, and the transliteration for that is on the bottom left underneath a beautiful English translation of this. Yedi nefesh avarachaman mishoch abdach el ritzonach yarutz abdach kemo ayal yishtachave mul hararach ki erav lo yedidudach Mino fetzuf vechol ta'am hadurna ziv ha'olam nafshi chola rahavatach ana eilna rivana la bihar olano amsevach Az titchazik v'didrape v'hayadalach shivchat olam v'tigyemud rachamecha v'chusna al beino havach Hizekama nichsof nichsaf Lir opeti veret huzach Anna eli machmar libi Chushana ve'alti talam Higalena ufros chaviv alai etzukat shelomach Ta'ir eretz migvodach Nagila v'nismechabach Maher ahuv kiva moed V'choneni ki me'olam La 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 la. La 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 la. And the formal service itself, now that we've had a little warm-up, begins on page 11. We use a melody from Camp Ramades. Lechu neranena ladonai nari aletzur yish'enu nikarma vanav betoda bizmirod nari alo nikarma vanav betoda bizmirod nari alo ki el gadol Adonai Umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher be'ado mechkerei aretz v'to avot harim lo asher be'ado mechkerei aretz v'to avot harim lo. Let us go and sing to Adonai. Let us trumpet praise to our protector. Filled with thanks, let us greet God, raising our voice in song. Together, that second paragraph on the left side of the 11 spread. Great is Adonai, a greater sovereign than all other deities. God's hands formed the earth steep. Mountain crests too are God's work. The sea is God's, for God made it. Dry land was fashioned by God's hand. Come then, let us bow and kneel. Let us bend our knees in the presence of Adonai, who formed us. For Adonai is our God, and we are God's flock, sheep in God's caring hands. On page 12, with the little arrow, Arba'im shana kut bedor va'omar amdo ele b'vheim v'heim lo yada'u d'rachai asher nishbadi be'api im yavoun el menuchati. On 13 and 14, we have Psalm 96. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, shiru l'Adonai barechu shemo basru miyom leyom yeshuato. Sing to Adonai a new song. Sing to Adonai all the earth. Sing to Adonai, praise God's name. Day after day tell of God's deliverance. Together, tell the nations of God's glory. Speak of God's wonders among all peoples. For Adonai is great, surely to be praised, more revered than other gods. For the gods of the nations are man-made idols, but Adonai fashioned the very heavens. And we'll do one more paragraph here. Grandeur and glory are God's honor guard. Strength and joy are where God is found. Offer to Adonai, peoples of the world, offer to Adonai honor and strength. Offer to Adonai the honor due God's name. Bring a gift of thanksgiving and enter God's presence. While I chant on page 14 at the little arrow, you can see at the arrow on the left side what I'm chanting about the heavens being glad and the earth rejoicing. Yismechu hashamayim v'dagel ha'aretz yir'ah mayam umlo ya'aloz sadai v'kol asher bo az yirananu kol atzei ya'ar Tivnei Adonai kiva kiva lishpot ha'aretz yishpot tevel b'tzedek ve'amim be'emunato. Psalm 97 is on 15 and 16. Adonai malach tagel aretz yismechu im rabim anan barafel sevivav tzedek umishpat mechon kiso. This time, let's do a little bit of reading on 16. I'll start on the top. Worshippers of idols, be shamed for praising false gods. All that is deemed supreme should bow before God. Together, Zion hears of it and rejoices. Cities of Judah exult as you, Adonai, pass judgment. You, Adonai, are above all that is earthly, exalted over all that is worshipped as divine. Together, those who love Adonai hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful. So read to yourselves the last part of that while I conclude the Hebrew on the right. Ohave Adonai sin ura shomer nafshot chasidav miyad rishaim yatzilem or zaru ala tzadik ul yisrei lev simcha simchu tzadikim b'Adonai vodu lezeker kodsho. And two more of these, the nature psalms. I'm on 17. Shir Adonai Shir Chadash Ki Niflot Asa Hoshia Lo Yamino Zroa Kodsho. Sing to Adonai a new song, for Adonai has wrought wonders. God's right hand and holy arm have brought deliverance. Together, Adonai declared deliverance as nations looked on. God's righteousness was revealed. God dealt faithfully and kindly with the house of Israel. The very ends of the earth saw our God's saving power. Let's read together that beautiful line on the top of 18. Call out to Adonai, all the earth. Break out in joyful singing. Sing to Adonai to the music of the lyre. Lyre and voices making music together with horns and shofar cries. Trumpet the presence of the sovereign Adonai. Here hayam umelo tevel veyoshev Narodim chauchav yachararim yiranenu lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel b'tzedek ve'amim b'meisharim. And finally, the last of this series, page 19 and 20. Adonai malach yirgazu amim yoshev grubim tanud aretz Adonai b'tzion gadol v'ram hu al kol ha'amim. Start at the second set this time. Adonai is great in Zion, above all nations. They shall acknowledge your name, saying, great, awe-inspiring, holy God. Together, sovereign strength lies in the love of justice. And you, God, forge the paths of truth, judging Jacob righteously and justly, and will finish, exalt Adonai our God, bow down before God, the Holy One. At the end of what I'll be doing, your arrow says, exalt Adonai our God and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy. And here's the lead into that. Adonai Eloheinu Adonidam El Nosei Italayim Nogeim Alalilotam Romamu Adonai Eloheinu Bishakabula Har Kodsho Kikadosh Adonai Eloheinu. And on page 21, with the red on the bottom of the left-hand side for transliteration, if you would like to use that, we have a melody for all of Psalm 29, which is a nature psalm for sure. It talks about the voice of God breaking the cedars of Lebanon. This is a Spanish-Portuguese melody. Mizmor le David, havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'os, havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, shakavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh, kol Adonai alamayim el hakavod irim, Adonai almayim rabim. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai be'harar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et arzei halevanon, Vayarkideim gemo egel, Levanon b'Sirion, gemo ben reimim. Kol Adonai chotzev lahavoresh, Kol Adonai yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yecholel layalot, vayechesov ye'arod ufeichalo, kulo omer kavod, kulo omer kavod. Adonai lamabul yashav, Vayeshev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yirein, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Et amo, et amo, et amo v'shalom. So, Lekadodi has hundreds of melodies, but one of my favorite is the one that is, at least was, when I was working there, done at Camp Ramah. It is a series of Hasidic melodies, and they go fast. So hang on to your yarmulkes if you're wearing one, and the words are on the bottom of 23, 4, and 5 in bright red. We'll skip some of the verses in the middle, but this will give you a flavor. Lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shem libert v'litehila. Lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lehu v'nei lecha, Ki hi mekor habaracha, Merosh mikerem nesucha, Sov maaseh b'machshvat techila. Lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Let's skip the bottom one on 23 and the top one on 24. One more verse in the middle of 24 with this same melody, then we start switching. Hidorari, kiva ore, kumi ori, uri, shirda beri, kevod Adonai alaich nigla. Lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Second melody. Lo, tevo shiva lo, ti kalami ma, Shisochachi u'matehemi. Bach, yechasu aniye, ami v'nivnata, yir. Al dila lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Page 25. Hayu l'shim so saik v'racha kukol miv alai yasis alai elosai kim sos chatan al kahala lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yamin u'smol tifrotzi v'et Adonai ta'aritzi al yarish ben parsi ben hismecha v'nagila. Lekadodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat nekabela. We greet the bride. Boi v'shalom, Ateret ba'ala, Gam besimcha uvetzola, toch emunei am segula. Bow left, boichala, right, boichala, lechadori likakala, pene Shabbat nekabela, lechadori likakala, pene Shabbat nekabela. 27, please be seated. Here is a much more modern melody, one which we're not quite sure exactly who wrote it. Mizmor shir leyom hashabbat. 27. Tov lehodot lahadonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, leagid baboker chazdecha, ve'emunatecha baleilot, alei asur ba'alei navel, alei higayon bechinor. Mizmor shir liyom hashabbat, tov lehodot lahadonai, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon, ulezamer l'shimcha elyon. Let's just do part of the English on 27 on the left, and then we'll sing that beautiful choral melody at the end of the psalm on 28. It is good to thank you, Adonai, and sing to your name most high, to proclaim your love at daybreak, your faithfulness each night. You gladden me with your deeds, Adonai, and I shall sing of your handiwork. The arrogant do not understand. The fool does not comprehend this. The wicked may flourish like grass, and evildoers blossom, only to be destroyed forever. So, I'll let you look at the English while we sing together, either in the red at the bottom of 28, or if you'd like to follow in the Hebrew on the right, at the arrow. This is a choral piece. Tzadik kadamar yifrach, ke'erez bal-levanon yizkeh, shedulim bebeit Adonai, b'chatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu, od yenuvun b'sevam, kishenim v'rananim yiyu, lehagid ki yashar Adonai, tzuri, tzuri, velo avla tabo. The last nature psalm is 93. It's on page 29. Let's read this in English, and then I will end it in the Hebrew, because the words are beautiful. Adonai is sovereign, robed in splendor, girded in strength. The earth stands firm, not to be dislodged. From earliest times, you, God, were enthroned. You are eternal. Your turn. In your house, beautiful in its holiness, your testimonies endure, Adonai, for all time. Mikol lahot maim rabim adirim mishbereyam adir bamarom Adonai erotecha ne'emnu mod levetecha nava kodesh Adonai leorech yamim. So we are going to go to page 39A. And there we will find the main body of the service. The structure of this is creation, revelation, Shema in the middle, and redemption, and asking God to guard us at night. So let's do the creation paragraph. Let's read this English down to the arrow. Well, no, let's read to the semicolon, and then I'll take over with the Hebrew. It'll be a little overlap. So together at Baruch. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of heaven, whose understanding changes the day's division, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Who ma'avir yom u'mevi laila, u'mavdil ben yom u'ben laila, Adonai tzavot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimlok aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hamari v'arabim. On 40, there's a few different melodies for Ahavat Olam. Let's see if this one is familiar for you all. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amachavta Torah Mitzvot Chukim Mishpatim Oranu Limadeta Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu Shokbeinu Kumeinu Nasiach Bechukecha V'nismach B'divrei Toradecha U'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu U'bahem nege yomam v'layla ve'ahabadecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai Ohei v'amo Yisrael. On page 41, we have Shema and V'ahavta. It's customary to cover our eyes just for the Shema part. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Using Torah trope. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'kol levavecha u'b'kol nafshecha u'b'kol meodecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele sher anochi mitzavvecha yom al levavecha v'shinandam levanecha v'dibarta Shivtecha bevedecha uvlechtecha baderech uvshochbecha uvkumecha uksherdam lod al yadecha vehayu ledodafod beinenecha uktavdam amzuzod bedecha uvisharecha. I see that this book does not give us transliteration for even the third part of the Shema. So I'm going to suggest let's read the second and third paragraphs together to ourselves in English or in Hebrew, and then I will do the thing at the bottom of 42 that we do when it's done. Antis Guru Vasitan Komis Potavitan Gurushim Adonai Elohechem Emet. So, this first paragraph after the Shema is redemption. And again, I'm going to suggest let's do some English reading on 43a, and then I'll take over and finish it off in Hebrew. Let's just read down to offered signs and wonders in the land of Egypt. This is our enduring affirmation binding on us, that Adonai is our God, and there is none other, that we, Israel, are God's people. God is our sovereign, redeeming us from earthly rulers, delivering us from the hand of all tyrants, bringing judgment upon our oppressors, and just retribution upon all our mortal enemies, performing wonders beyond understanding, and marvels beyond all reckoning. God places us among the living, not allowing our steps to falter, and leads us past the false altars of our enemies, exalting us above those who hate us. So I will finish this off with the Hebrew, which you can find on page 44. You're welcome to sing along on the little red parts if that would be useful for you. Umalkuto b'ratzon kibelu alehem Moshe u'Miriam u'bnei Yisrael elechanu shira b'simcha rabba v'yamaru kulam Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi kamocha nedor b'kodesh norad elot osef elem Malchutecha ra'u v'necha bokei ayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam ze'lianu v'yamaru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar gibar Adonai et Yaakov u'galo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch Adonai Gal Yisrael. Now, on page 45, while you read the English, I'm going to chant the Hebrew and see if you can kind of match how what I'm chanting reflects the meaning of the words. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu v'shalom V'ha'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha V'dagneinu beitz ha'tova milfanecha V'hoshi'enu Leman shemecha V'agein ba'adeinu V'haser me'aleinu Oyev dever cherev v'rav V'yagon V'aser satan milfaneinu Ume'achareinu Uvetzel kenafecha tastirenu Ki el shomreinu matzilenu ata Ki el melech chanun v'rachum ata Ushmor tzeitenu voenu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam Ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha Baruch atah Adonai Apores sukat shalom aleinu Ve'agolamo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. And on 46, I'm going to invite you to sing along a nice, super quiet melody. You have the words in the left-hand side in red if that would be useful. Again, if you glance at the English, you'll see how this melody paints the words so beautifully. V'shameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asod et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam b'rit ulam v'ni u'vein b'nei Yisrael ot le'olam ki zeshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'yeretz uvayom hashavi Shabbat vayinafash. We will do the Amidah to ourselves. That can be found pages 47 through 51. For this we will stand, and we'll just do this in whatever language works for each of us. please feel free to finish your Amidah at your own pace. But we will continue on the bottom of 52. Again, in keeping with my theme this evening of kind of gentle melodies, here's a melody that may be a little less familiar for Oseh Shalom, but one that hopefully you will find appropriate. Bottom of 52. And if you want to try to sing along, it's in the red there if that is useful for you. Oseh Shalom, Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom, shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. There is another whole section of the service, but according to my instructions, we can only do the top of 53 part of it, absent a full minyan. However, what is special about the top of 53, the Vaychulu, is this is a verbatim quote from the book of Genesis in the creation story. So they didn't write it with trope, or we could sing it that way, but there's lots of nice melodies for this. Hopefully this will be one that'll be somewhat familiar for you. Top of 53. Vaychulu hashamayim beharetz v'chol tzevam vaychal Elohim bayom hashavi melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashavi mikol melachto asher asa Vayivarek Elohim et Yom HaShavi, Vayikadesh Oto, Kivo Shabbat Mikol Melachto, Kivo Shabbat Mikol Melachto, Asher Bara Elohim La'asot. God ceased on the seventh day from all of the work of creation. So before we go directly to Aleinu and Kaddish, let me give you a little preview of tomorrow's Torah reading, and you'll have to come back tomorrow to find out which part of this I'm going to talk about in my short sermon. But tomorrow's Torah reading talks about 5 different kinds of sacrifices. Different things that were offered during those sacrifices. Different animals or grains. What a poor person could do if they couldn't afford an animal. I'll give you a hint on that one. If they're at the lower end of the socioeconomic scale and they can't afford to bring a whole 4-footed animal, they can bring a bird to be sacrificed, and it'll count. And if they're way down at the bottom of the socioeconomic scale and they can't even afford a bird, they can bring grain. So that much is the giveaway for tomorrow's sermon. But there are categories of sacrifices. Some are individual, some are totally communal, and some are just for the leadership. And the most important part of the entire Torah reading, as far as I'm concerned, is there are completely different categories of things that are brought depending whether it's an unintended sin of omission or an unintended sin of commission, or worst of all, if you really messed up and you intended to do something bit wrong. Those were the most expensive sacrifices of all. And the other spoiler alert for tomorrow's sermon is that since one daddy anything, goat, sheep, ram, whatever, can make a whole lot of babies with a whole lot of mommy animals, only the people at the upper end of the pecking order were commanded that they had to bring one of those expensive rams or bulls, and they had to have done something pretty bad in the case of the sin offerings to have that be the reason that they had to sacrifice that animal as a way of saying, I'm sorry, God. Anyway, that gives you some idea of what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. I promise not to make it too gory and bloody, but we should keep on going with the Aleinu, which is on page 56. And now I'm going to switch cameras and open the Ark. And I'll get out of your way so you can actually see what's in the Ark. 56. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adonai kol l'adei gedula l'yotzer bereshit shelo asanu k'viyei aratzot v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkeinu kahem v'gor aleinu k'kol amonam v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim l'ivnei melech Malkei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shono Dei Shamayim V'Yosei Dares Moshav Yirkaro B'Shamayim Mimal Shkina Ruzo B'Gopei Meromim Hu Eloheinu Einod Emet Malkeinu Epesulato Kakatu B'Torato Yedata Yom V'Hashevota El Levavecha Yadonai hu Elohim b'shamayim mimal v'al haaretz mitachat einod. Read the top half of 57 to ourselves. And let's rejoin at the little box, or the little arrow, I mean. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai imlok le'olam va'ed v'ne'emar v'yadonai l'melech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shmo echad. Okay, I have a yahrzeit list here. We'll do Mr. Barak's tomorrow, but the yahrzeit list includes Julius Axelrod, Ralph Franco, Edith Gross, Janice Wolf, Capelotto, Pinky Hasson, Leon Capelotto, Ruth Schinbaum-Zellen, Sarah Kermish, Joseph Cohen, Sue Israel, Joseph Mazer, Gershon Solomon, Ann Wildstein, Reba Brenner, Bert Worth, Visitor Mayor Bowman, Zelda Franco, and Lois Ginsburg. Are there any other names that should be added to that list that you know of? We're good? Okay. I thought I remember us doing Kaddish even without a minyan. Do you always do Psalm 23 instead, or what's the story with Kaddish, this Kaddish? We do this Kaddish. Okay, so let's rise for this. And in fact, I think I remember we even opened the ark for this. Am I right? Well, in case I'm wrong, we'll open it halfway. So please rise. Now for sure you have to rise because the ark's part way open. Okay, so Kaddish is on 58. And those from home, please say it along. Let me, since I'm standing, actually, you know what? If the ark's open, I should be standing in front of the ark. All right. Yit gadal, v'yit kadash, shemei rabah. V'yadamad, yibrach hir utei. V'yamlich malchutei, v'chayekon, v'yomekon, v'chayed ekol beit Yisrael. Ha'agalau, v'zman karib, v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabah mevarach. Le'olam olamei alamaya. Yitparach v'yishtabach, v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnasei. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmeit kudusha b'rif ku. Le'ela min kol birkata v'sirata, tushbekata v'nechamata da'amiran v'yalama v'imru amen. Yesama rabba min shmaya v'chaim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom v'imromav v'ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Yalkol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Okay. And let's see if we've got some announcements here. Well, I'll be back in the morning for services. No religious school on Sunday. Minyan Monday and Thursday with breakfast. And, oh, aren't you all lucky? Student cantor Carl Sayers will be here next Friday night. Very nice. Okay. So I'm sure you will hear different melodies from him. Alrighty, let us finish off. We'll actually get this done inside an hour. Page 62, Yigdal. And the whole thing is transliterated on the bottom half of the left side, if that would be useful for you. For everybody, whoops, it would help if I put this back on Rabbi Cam. There we go. So what I wanted to say to everybody who's watching from home, Shabbat Shalom. My apologies for being a little farblunged at the beginning and not greeting you properly, but I'm glad you are here, whoever is online. And of course, for you all who came in person, thank you very much for coming in person also. So, page 62. You know what? I'm going to share a Turkish melody with you all. Partly because it goes a lot faster even than our regular melody. This is from Constantinople. Yigdal Elohim chai ve'yishabach nimtza v'yein eid el metziuto echad v'yein yachid ke'ichudo ne'lam v'gam ein sof le'achduto. You're welcome to try it along. Ein lo demut aguf, ve'ein o guf, lo na'aroch elav kedushato, kadmon lekol davar asher nivra, rishon ve'ein reshit lereshito. Hino adon olam, ve'kol no tsar, no yore gedulato umalchuto, shefa nevuaron erano, el anshe segulato vetifarto. Lo kam be'Yisrael, ke Moshe o navi, umabit et temunato, Torat emet natan le'am o el, al yad nevi o ne'eman beito. Lo ya khalifa el, velo yamir dato, le'olamim le'zulato. Sofe ve'ore yasetarenu, mabit le'sof davar bekadmato. Gomel lish chesed kemiv alo norin l'rashara kerish ado Yishlach lagetz yamin meshikeinu livdod mekakekes Yeshuato. Let's try. Metim Yekayael berov chazdo Baruch Adead Shem Tehilato Metim Yekayael berov chazdo Baruch Adead Shem Tehilato. Adonai Oz Li'amo Yitin Adonai V'rei Kedemo Shalom. May God grant us all the blessings of strength and of peace. Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Or since I not come from, but have been living in South Alabama, all y'all to make it actually plural. That's the way it's done down there. All right, we have Kiddush waiting for us, hopefully. So let me say goodbye to everybody here, and thank you all for joining. I can figure out how to get this done.